Imagine this. You climb into your car on a scorching afternoon, crank the AC, and wait while lukewarm air barely trickles from the vents. Meanwhile, mechanics and AC shops are quietly hoping you'll hand over anywhere from $300 to $1,000 for repairs that, believe it or not, you could fix yourself in less than an hour, right in your own driveway. This is not your fault. The car AC repair industry is built around the idea that you'll pay for what you don't understand. They've gotten so good at making simple issues seem like catastrophic failures that most people just surrender their wallets. I've been there too, but over the past few years, I've put every trick to the test and saved over $2,000, enough to keep my family's cars ice cold even during the most brutal summer heat waves. So, in this video, I'm sharing 22 proven techniques to reset, restore, and seriously boost your car's AC performance. No gimmicks, no quick fixes, just the real maintenance steps that professionals rely on, but without the shop markup. Some are true reset tricks, others are simple upgrades or habits that make a huge difference in how cold your AC blows. Some of these take 5 minutes, others maybe 30, but every single one can keep you from falling for the classic "your compressor's shot" routine. And if you stick with me to the end, I'll show you the most powerful trick of all. It works on almost every car made after 1996. It costs absolutely nothing, and it can drop your cabin temperature by up to 20 degrees. Now, I want to be upfront. If your compressor's totally dead, or you've got a massive refrigerant leak, you'll need a pro. But if your AC still works, just not as cold as it used to be, or if it's fine on the highway but turns wimpy at stoplights, or if it takes forever to cool down, then what you're about to learn could save you hundreds, maybe thousands. Let's jump in with the 20-second trick, and this is one almost nobody thinks about. Cleaning your fresh air intake cowl. Pop your hood and look at the base of your windshield. Those plastic grills where the wipers attach? That's your AC's front door. If you haven't checked it in years, it's probably packed with leaves, twigs, and old debris. And here's why it matters. Every bit of air your AC pulls in has to pass through here first. When it's clogged, airflow can drop by as much as half. So your AC works overtime, burns more fuel, and still leaves you sweating. But the nastier part? All that organic junk just sits there, warm and damp. A perfect breeding ground for bacteria and mold. If you've ever caught a whiff of musty air when you switch on the AC, 9 times out of 10, this is where it starts. Most shops will charge you between $80 and $150 just to diagnose the smell, then try to sell you a $300 to $600 evaporator cleaning. But a lot of the time, the real fix is right there, hidden under your cowl. Cleaning it is simple. Take off the wiper arms, gently pop off the plastic cowl cover, scoop out the debris, spray with a mild cleaner, let it dry, and put it all back together. You'll notice stronger airflow and fresher air instantly. Now, for the 21 trick, and this one catches people off guard, replacing your evaporator temperature sensor. Here's the pattern. Your AC is ice cold for the first half hour or so. Then slowly, the air warms up until it's barely cool. You turn the car off, let it sit, and when you come back, the AC is cold again until it repeats. Most people think it's low refrigerant, and shops are quick to recommend an expensive expansion valve or a full recharge, which can run $400 to $800. But usually, the real villain is a $25 sensor. That sensor's job is to monitor the evaporator core and prevent it from freezing over. If it fails, the core ices up, airflow drops, vents blow warm, and the cycle keeps repeating after every break. The sensor itself is usually behind the glove box or lower dash, and changing it takes less than an hour. If you're seeing this specific cools, then fades, then recovers pattern, check the sensor before you shell out for major repairs. Trick number 20 is so basic that most people ignore it, but the science is huge. Park in the shade. When you leave your car in direct sun, the inside can hit 140 to 160 degrees. Your dash, seats, and everything else soak up that heat. Now, your AC has to remove all that energy before you even feel a breeze. That can mean 20 to 30 minutes of full blast cooling, burning fuel, and wearing out your AC. But if you park in shade, your car stays 40 to 60 degrees cooler. Your AC gets you comfortable in 5 to 10 minutes instead of half an hour. Less runtime means less wear, less fuel, and a longer lasting AC. Every time you pick a sunny spot over a shady one, you're making your AC work 3 times harder. Over a summer, that's hundreds of extra hours on your system for no reason. Trick number 19 is one that most drivers overlook, but it's a game changer for AC longevity. Running your AC every month, even during winter. Here's why it matters. Your AC system relies on rubber seals and hoses that need to stay lubricated all year round. By switching on your AC for 10 to 15 minutes each month, you keep those seals flexible and prevent them from drying out and cracking. This simple habit stops slow refrigerant leaks before they start, saving you from expensive repairs down the road. Even if it's freezing outside, just a short run, often activated by your defroster, will keep your AC system healthy and ready for summer. The fix is easy. Run your AC for 10 to 15 minutes once a month, even in January. This keeps the seals flexible, circulates oil, and prevents moisture buildup. You don't have to freeze. Most cars turn on the AC automatically when you use the defroster, so just make sure you're running that for a bit each month. This one habit can double or triple the life of your AC seals and save you thousands in the long run. But there's a silent AC killer most people never check. Trick number 18, your Serpentine belt. This is the link between your engine and your AC compressor. If it's worn, cracked, or glazed, it can slip under load, especially when your AC is working its hardest. Even a small amount of slip can mean you're losing a third of your cooling power, even though your system is running flat out. Checking it is easy. Look for cracks or shiny spots. Press on it to check tension and listen for squeals when the AC kicks in. Most shops will charge up to $120 just to check it, but you can do it in 5 minutes at home. If it needs replacing, the part is $40 to $100, and if you're handy, you can swap it yourself in half an hour. Now on to trick 17, one that's quietly ruining AC systems from the inside. Moisture contamination and compressor oil imbalance. Moisture sneaks in through leaks or bad AC service, and once inside, it mixes with refrigerant to form acids that eat away at your AC system from the inside out. You won't smell it, you won't see it, but by the time you notice performance drop, the damage is done. Your AC also needs just the right amount of refrigerant oil. Too much or too little, and your compressor is in trouble. Many DIY recharge kits skip this step, so if you've had leaks or topped off refrigerant, you might be running low on oil without knowing it. The warning signs, weird compressor noises, poor cooling even with a good charge, or the compressor cycling more than usual. There's a component called the receiver dryer or accumulator that's supposed to soak up moisture, but it only has so much capacity. If your AC system's ever been opened or lost a lot of refrigerant, this part should be replaced. A $40 to $80 fix that many shops skip, leading to much bigger bills down the road. And for trick 16, let's talk about leaks, the #1 cause of AC performance decline. The best way to find them? UV dye. Add the dye, run the AC, and then use a UV flashlight to spot leaks that would otherwise be invisible. A tiny leak that costs $50 to fix can, if ignored, turn into a $2,000 disaster when your compressor fails from running dry. You can buy a UV flashlight for $20 to $40 and check for leaks yourself. No need to wait until your AC quits for good. If you're finding these tips helpful, hit that like button so more drivers can save money and stay cool too. Let's keep the momentum going with the 15th trick, which most people never think to check: your cooling fans. Modern cars use electric fans that kick on automatically when your AC is running. If these fans fail because of a blown fuse, a dead relay, or a worn-out motor, you'll see a very specific pattern. Your AC works fine when you're driving at speed, but in traffic or at idle, it just can't keep up. If you've ever wondered why your AC feels ice cold on the highway but turns weak in a parking lot, here's how you check it. With the engine running and AC set to max, watch and listen for your radiator and condenser fans to spin up within about a minute. If they don't, check the fuses first. If the fuse is fine, relays and motors are the next suspects. A failed relay is often a $15 to $30 fix, and a new fan motor runs $60 to $120, not the $800 overhaul. Now, trick 14 is all about making your AC's job easier before you even turn it on, installing high-quality ceramic window tint. Not all tints are created equal. Cheap tint might darken your windows, but it barely blocks the heat. Ceramic tint, on the other hand, can reject 60 to 80% of infrared, meaning your car stays dramatically cooler inside, even in direct sun. Here's what you'll notice. With good ceramic tint, your interior temperature after 2 hours in 95-degree sun might be 105 instead of 145. That's a difference you can feel the second you open your door. Now here is where you need to be careful. Many dealerships sell tint packages for $800 to $1,500, claiming they are premium ceramic products, but they are often using basic films that cost $50 to $100 and only block 40 to 50% of heat. The markup is outrageous, and the performance claims are exaggerated. Quality ceramic tint from a reputable installer typically costs $300 to $600 for a full vehicle. For maximum heat rejection on a budget, focus tinting on your front and rear windshields where legally permitted. These large glass areas contribute the most to heat buildup. Even if you can only afford to tint your windshield, you will get significant cooling benefits. Trick 13 is super simple but incredibly effective. Use reflective sunshades and light-colored seat covers. It sounds basic, but the science is real. A quality sunshade can block up to 95% of solar radiation, keeping your dashboard and seats up to 60 degrees cooler. Without it, your dash could hit 160 degrees. With it, you might see just 100. That's a 40 to 50% reduction in heat load, which means your AC doesn't have to play catch-up every time you get in. And don't forget your seats, especially if you have dark leather or vinyl. Those can get hot enough to burn, and they keep radiating heat into your cabin long after you start driving. Light-colored breathable seat covers can drop surface temps by 30 to 50 degrees, so your AC isn't fighting a losing battle. For less than $100, you can get a sunshade and seat covers that make a real difference. The 12th trick is one that gets ignored all the time, but it's critical. Replace your cabin air filter. When your AC filter is clogged, airflow drops dramatically. Even if your AC is working perfectly, you'll get weak airflow and poor cooling. Worse, a dirty filter traps moisture and organic debris, which becomes a breeding ground for mold and bacteria. If you've ever noticed a musty smell, or if your vents feel weak even on high, this is almost always the culprit. Replacing it is easy and cheap. Most filters are $15 to $30 and take about 15 minutes to swap out. Just pop open the glove box, unhook the tabs, slide out the old filter, and drop in a new one. If your airflow jumps back to normal, you've just solved your problem for the price of lunch. Now, the 11th trick is about nailing your diagnosis. Is your problem weak airflow, or is it actually warm air? If your AC is blowing cold but not much air, you're dealing with airflow. Think blower motor, cabin filter, or blocked ducts. If the air is strong but not cold, you're looking at the refrigerant side, maybe a leak, a failing compressor, or a clogged expansion valve. If airflow remains weak even with the filter removed, you are looking at different possibilities. Evaporator freeze-up is common. This gets indicated by condensation, or ice formation around the evaporator housing. When ice forms on the evaporator coils, it blocks airflow just like a clogged filter would. Blocked or collapsed ductwork is another possibility, particularly common in vehicles that have had previous dashboard repairs. Failed blend door actuators can redirect airflow away from cabin vents. These are the motorized doors inside your HVAC system that control where air goes. When they fail or get stuck, air might be blowing strong but going to the wrong places, like under your dashboard instead of through your vents. Trick number 10 gives you instant, though temporary, relief on the hottest days. Condenser misting. When you spray a fine mist of water onto your condenser through the grill while the AC is running, the evaporation pulls heat away fast, letting your AC work more efficiently. This is a lifesaver during heat waves. Vent temperatures can drop from 70 to 50 degrees in just a few minutes. All you need is a spray bottle and some cool water. Just mist the condenser fins and let physics do the rest. It's not a permanent fix, but it can prevent system overload and give you real comfort when you need it most. The 9th trick is all about personal comfort. Portable, battery-powered fans. Clip them to your visor, dash, or headrest, and you'll feel 5 to 10 degrees cooler right away. The moving air speeds up evaporative cooling from your skin, making even a marginal AC system feel much better. For less than $50, you can pick up a couple of fans and a misting bottle, which together can give you 15 to 20 degrees of perceived cooling, especially in dry climates. These are especially handy during those first few minutes when your car is still an oven, or if your AC is struggling. It's a cheap, effective way to bridge the gap until your system catches up. Now, trick number 8 is about understanding your compressor, the heart of your AC. There are 3 main types: fixed displacement with a clutch, variable displacement, and electric, which is present in hybrids and EVs. For clutch-type AC compressor, listen for the click and watch for the pulley to spin. If it's cycling rapidly or not engaging, you may have a compressor clutch or its coil issue. Variable compressors don't really cycle. They modulate output, so the sound changes, but they don't shut off completely. Electric compressors are independent of engine speed and make a distinct whine. The most valuable thing you can do is simply observe how your compressor behaves under different conditions. If it's acting strange, cycling too often, making noise, or not engaging when it should, look up your specific type and symptoms before jumping to expensive repairs. Sometimes it's a simple electrical issue or a sensor, not a $1,000 compressor job. Trick 7 is one of those behind-the-scenes fixes that can save you from a world of headaches. Keeping your evaporator drain tube clear. Your evaporator creates a ton of condensation, especially in humid weather, and that water has to drain out through a small tube in your firewall. If it gets clogged with algae or debris, water backs up, causing musty smells, water sloshing sounds, or even puddles on your floor mats. Clearing it is usually as simple as finding the tube under your car and gently poking it with a flexible tool or blowing it out with compressed air. This takes about 30 minutes and can save you hundreds on professional cleaning, not to mention preventing mold from taking over your HVAC system. Stick with me. Coming up next, we'll get into the last set of tricks, including the under $20 move that can make your AC blow up to 15 degrees colder, and the sequence that can make your car cool down twice as fast for free. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the most powerful AC reset you can do yourself. Now let's get into trick number 6, and this one is all about your condenser coil. The condenser is the part up front, usually right in front of your radiator, and its job is to dump all the heat your AC system pulls out of the cabin. Over time, it gets coated with road grime, bugs, leaves, and even grass clippings. Basically anything the wind can throw at it. When the fins get clogged, airflow drops, and suddenly your AC can't release heat efficiently. That means warmer air at the vents, longer cooldown times, and even higher strain on your compressor. The good news? Cleaning your condenser is easy, and it can make a huge difference. All you need is a garden hose and a soft brush. Spray from the engine side out if you can, to push debris back the way it came in, and gently brush away any stubborn gunk. It takes about half an hour, costs nothing if you have the tools, and can save you from needing a $300 to $800 condenser replacement. Now, for trick number 5, let's talk about recirculation mode. Most people either never use it or they leave it on all the time. Both are mistakes. Here's the deal. When you first get in your car, the air inside is usually way hotter than outside. If you start your AC in recirculation mode right away, you're just recooling the same oven air. Instead, start with fresh air mode for the first 2 or 3 minutes to purge the superheated air, then switch to recirculation once things start to cool down. This strategy can lower vent temperatures by 8 to 10 degrees and cut compressor runtime by up to a third. But don't leave recirculation on forever. Every 20 to 30 minutes, switch back to fresh air for a minute or two to keep humidity and CO2 levels in check. This is one of the simplest, most effective ways to get colder air and keep your AC healthy, and it doesn't cost a dime. Trick number 4 is a notorious troublemaker: blend door operation. These doors inside your dash control whether hot or cold air is sent to the vents. If a blend door gets stuck or its actuator fails, you might get hot air when you want cold, or vice versa. The symptoms can mimic major AC problems, but the fix is sometimes as simple as replacing a worn actuator or unsticking a jammed door. Here's how to check. Listen for clicking or grinding sounds behind the dash when you change the temperature setting. If you hear those noises, or if the air temperature doesn't change when you adjust the controls, chances are you've got a blend door issue. Trick number 3 is a diagnostic move that can save you from unnecessary repairs: the highway speed cooling test. Here's how it works. If your AC cools much better at highway speeds than it does at idle, you're probably dealing with an airflow issue, like a weak fan or clogged condenser, not a refrigerant problem. But if the AC is weak at all speeds, it's more likely a refrigerant leak, a failing compressor, or an expansion valve issue. To test, measure vent temperature after 10 minutes of idling, then again after 10 minutes at highway speed. If there's a difference of 10 degrees or more, look at airflow components first before letting anyone sell you an expensive recharge or compressor. Now, let's get to trick number 2, and this is where a lot of DIYers get tripped up: checking refrigerant pressure and system balance. Here is the fundamental principle of refrigeration systems. Refrigerant pressures vary predictably with temperature. This means a pressure reading that might indicate proper charge at 70 degrees could indicate severe overcharge or undercharge at 100 degrees. Professional refrigerant service requires using gauge sets to measure both high side and low side pressures simultaneously, then comparing these readings to expected values based on current temperature and the specific refrigerant type in your system. Common diagnostic patterns include equal high and low side pressures, which indicates a non-functioning compressor. Very low side pressure with high side pressure indicates restricted refrigerant flow, typically from a clogged expansion valve. Refrigerant pressures that equalize quickly when the AC is turned off indicate internal leaks, usually compressor valve problems. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The #1 trick that can reset your AC and make it blow up to 15 degrees colder. Here it is. Window ventilation techniques before you ever touch the AC switch. This is the single most powerful, completely free way to get your car cool, fast. Here's how it works. When you get in a hot car, open all the doors for 30 seconds to let the worst of the heat escape. Hot air rises, so you're using natural convection to your advantage. Next, start the car, roll down all the windows, and drive for 1 to 2 minutes. This creates cross-ventilation that flushes out the last of the superheated air. Once the inside temperature is close to outside, close the windows and turn on the AC, starting in fresh air mode for a couple minutes before switching to recirculation. Real-world tests show that using this sequence, you can get your cabin down to 72 or 75 degrees in 6 or 7 minutes, compared to 18 or 22 minutes if you just crank the AC right away. By now, you've got the full playbook, 22 tricks that can save you thousands, keep your AC blowing cold, and help you avoid those wallet-draining shop visits. Start with the easy stuff. Clean your air intake, swap the cabin filter, check your fans, and use smart ventilation. Then move up to intermediate steps like inspecting your belt, cleaning the condenser, and using recirculation mode the right way. If you even put half of these into practice, you'll get more life and better performance from your AC, and you'll dodge the most common and most expensive pitfalls. Remember, your AC system is built to last the life of your car if you give it a little attention. Now you know exactly how to make that happen. But here's the thing, your AC is just one part of your car's cooling system. If you want to make sure your engine never leaves you stranded in the heat, and your cooling system lasts twice as long as most, check out my next video. I break down the simple habits and overlooked secrets that protect your radiator, water pump, and more, so you can drive worry-free even in the hottest weather. Tap it on screen now, and I'll see you there. Thanks so much for watching, and stay cool out there.